I would like to start my presentation with a little story. Once upon a time, I'm what they call these days a millennial. I'm working now for 11 years within Delaware, and through these 11 years, I had many meetings with a lot of CIOs, discussing about innovation, discussing about technology. And there's always one story that pops up when I have these discussions with these CIOs. And it goes as follows. Once upon a time, the life of a CIO was easy. 20 years ago, they had to make one major decision, which ERP vendor to choose. Then they deployed it, and then they were set for a couple of years. Another nice story I heard last Friday at one of our customers was the following regarding the internet. And the guy was telling me that back in the 90s, his boss came to him and he said, hey, I went to Congress and I saw and I heard something about internet and web browsers. Can you verify if this could be useful for our company? Okay. I think we all know and we all agree that times have changed in the meantime. This is becoming reality. We do not talk about one ERP anymore. We talk about many different systems, mostly connected towards line of businesses, sales, HR, finance, procurement, you name it. This has become reality. And on top of that, we are also confronted with a lot of hypes. Hypes like cloud, big data, beacons, augmented reality, virtual reality, Internet of Things. Some of you are probably wondering now why there is a pony on the background. Well, this brings me to the next slide. Here we go. This is the way how we see that companies react to these hypes. It's twofold. On the one side, we have companies who use these hypes to get to the low-hanging fruit. And on the other side, represented by the goat to the right, we have companies who look at it and are saying, what the heck is that guy doing? Our perception within our customer base is that also a hype has become reality. And I would like to illustrate this with some real customer cases we are working on, or we have worked on the last couple of months. When we talk about cloud, what do we see? A lot of companies are changing their current existing applications. What I mean with that is they want to recombine data. Their end users are sick and tired of opening 10, 15 different screens using 10, 15 different UIs. They want a centralized screen with one central UI to get their things done, regardless of which backend system is behind. This is an example of a dashboard we are currently creating for one of our customers. As you can see, the user has a landing page, he can view his KPIs, he can drill down, and he can perform any type of task, regardless of which backend system is behind. Next to that, we've also introduced NLP within this application, natural language processing, which means you can just talk to the application to get things done. For instance, you can say, view the invoices of GSK from last month, and the application will show you the invoices. Another example, you can say, hey, create me a service order for GSK, and the application will pre-fill all the fields. You don't have to do it manually anymore, and the only thing you have to do is check it and validate it and confirm it. And of course, it's a given these days that these type of applications run on any device, meaning PC, laptop, tablet, and of course, a mobile device. Now, when we talk about IoT and big data, where do we stand within Delaware? I can tell you that of today, we are serving 13 customers. I cannot go into detail for each customer due to NDA, non-disclosure agreements, but I can tell you this. One of the customers we are engaging on is related towards home automation. And they are generating petabytes of data. And to be clear, 1 petabyte is 1,000 terabytes, which is a lot, okay? What are they doing with this data? They are reselling it towards other companies, and in some parts of the world, they are reselling the data towards governments. Another shift we are seeing with respect to IoT is a shift in business models. Peter will also elaborate in his presentation. But just to give you an example, what we see within our manufacturing-based companies is that companies are changing the business model in such a sense that they are not selling products anymore, but they are selling services around their products. Okay, but how do we make IoT real? How do we go from hype towards reality? It's a 4-step approach we apply. The first step is a discovery phase. It's mostly together with our strategy and transformation team. We sit together with the business and we look for a business case, okay? Because you don't have to do IoT just to do IoT. Secondly, there's a design phase where we craft the architecture, and I'll come back on that topic later in the presentation. Third, there's a pilot phase, and the fourth is a rollout phase. Now, if we translate this to our 13 customers, where are they in this process? You can see the biggest chunk is currently within design and discovery. If we translate it toward timings, what we see is on the right, they started last year, and on the left, discovery and design, they started this year. Very important slide here. What I want to say with this is if you want to drive innovation, break down silos. For all these 13 customers, we have put it C-level, business, IT, and R&D in one room. And I can assure you within certain companies this was a challenge. But this is the only way to drive innovation, break down the silos. To come back on the architecture part, what we see also is that the role of a good architect has become crucial these days. We now have a scattered hybrid landscape, cloud, on-prem, many systems, so the role of an architect has become very important. Topics like security, scalability, total cost of ownership, it's a given that you have a good architect who can manage it. To give an example, the cloud application you saw earlier for one of our customers, this is the architecture behind. And don't worry, I won't go into detail, but it's just to give you an idea how complex the world has become. This is the example of one of our IoT architectures we are engaging on with one of our customers. You can see there's a shift from the big application servers towards the little microservices, which each service has its own role. When we talk about beacons, where do we stand within Delaware? And just to be on the same page here, what are beacons? It are little self-powered devices you can put everywhere in the room, and they enable indoor navigation, indoor wayfinding, indoor positioning. And yeah, don't be mistaken, your GPS will not work indoor, okay? Next to that, it also enables a lot of features for the back office. For instance, heat maps show me the places which are most crowded within the area, or track and tracing of assets and people, Big Brother style. Okay, just to give you an idea which type of industries we are engaging on with our partner BluePet. These are the industries, so it's leisure and entertainment, for instance, Jumeirah Hotels. We have Dubai Airport International. We also have utilities where beacons are being used to improve safety. And there's also, of course, education, like German University of Technology, where students can use the beacons to find their way to the classrooms. And there's also currently pending a study with the University of Leuven to verify how beacons and robotics work together to deliver medicines within hospitals. Last topic, augmented reality, virtual reality. Where do we stand within Delaware? Well, we're currently developing a mobile app for Hypodream. It's a festival, a dance festival, which covers around 8,000 people. And the idea that we are now start developing is the fact that people who are on the festival compound can just point their smartphone with their camera to any object on the festival and they receive additional information. For instance, they can point it at the main stage and they can see the lineup of the artist, or they can see the history of the artist, or they can point it at the food and beverage stand and they can see which food and beverage are being served, what is the pricing, is there any promotion. How do we do that? Well, for this part, you need 3D skills. We first develop a 3D floor plan, we embed it in the mobile application, and then we deploy it. And that in such a sense that the mobile application has the intelligence which are which objects that they can augment. Another case we are currently engaging on with one of our customers is closing the gap between the back office and the field engineers. In some cases, it can be useful for the back office to have some extra insights on the working environment of the field engineers. What do? We take 360 images of the working environment of the field engineers. We upload them to the back end. Then the back office can import the images, put on the VR headset, and can look around what is the working environment of the field engineers. Last but not least, HoloLens, Microsoft HoloLens. I think some of you already heard of it. We already received the devices within our US practice, Delaware US, and we are now discussing with a lot, 2 to 3 customers, which business cases we can go forward with. And just to give you a short view what are the possibilities, a very short movie. My final advice for this session, for those who don't have one yet, find yourself a pony, find yourself a hype, or you will get hungry.